What we've seen developing over the last several years is foreign banks have really retrenched because they're dealing with a lot of regulatory issues, both globally and in the US, so they're taking a lot less risk. So foreign banks are really not lending in our markets anymore. So what we see is we see a real large dislocation and a funding gap, particularly in the mid-cap growth space for companies in our target markets. We have local banks that are present, but local banks tend to do plain vanilla relationship lending, short-term working capital financing. They're not very good at providing bespoke solutions through credit products to help fund growth. And then if you look at local capital markets in our target markets, they really don't exist. The credit product can be a leader into a company for Abraaj, where we'll lend to the company, we'll help them grow, and then perhaps in the future the private equity team may decide to make an investment, and that will be at a time in the future when the founding shareholders are comfortable selling ownership in their company. So now what this does is it allows Abraaj to have a much more fulsome conversation with the companies that we speak to in local markets. We can now provide solution capital across the capital structure. So instead of just providing growth capital in the form of private equity, we can now provide growth capital in the form of debt. So we manage risk in many ways in the credit space. Very importantly and more qualitative is we lend to companies that we know. We're also focused on lending to companies that grow. And so as they grow, they generate more EBITDA, more cash flow, and de-lever over time, which allows them a higher probability to repay us. So we're really focusing on growth sectors, again, because we want companies that are growing. So there's a lot of crossover between private equity and private credit in terms of the sectors that we focus on at Abraaj. So these are consumer-driven sectors, logistics, healthcare, education. Maybe the only sector we don't focus on as is private equity is financial institutions, primarily because these are not real asset companies. They don't generate cash flows. But other than that, we focus really on the same sectors where Abraaj has a lot of experience deploying private equity capital over a 15-year track record.